It was 1942. Germaine was only 16. Only 16 years old when her entire family, her mother and 5 sisters and herself, were forced to leave their home along with thousands of other confused and terrified families. Germaine had already witnessed the cruelty of the Nazis when she watched her father being killed in front of her by a German soldier. As the family was herded like cattle into a crowded boxcar, their destination was unknown. And although they were told that they were headed for Poland to be given homes and to work on a farm where they could earn some much-needed money, the horrible reality was that they would soon join so many others whose lives would be tragically and horribly ended for one reason. They were Jewish, and they were an unwanted people. Germaine was so scared, she had no idea what was happening or where they were taking her family. They traveled for 8 days with no food or water. Germaine's mother tried to comfort the family, but they had heard stories of what this day would mean. The only comfort was that they were together. But that would soon change. As the train arrived at the now infamous Nazi concentration camp known as Auschwitz, Germaine's family was immediately shattered. Her mother and sisters were led away, presumably to the gas chambers. They killed 3,000 in the gas chambers that day. She would never see them again. Germaine was put in a group of 300 teenage girls and held in Block 10. The living conditions were unimaginable. This block was known as the experimental block, where the young girls were saved for medical experiments. Germaine was in shock. She had just lost her entire family, and now she was all alone. A 16-year-old girl not knowing her fate, but was fearing the worst. Germaine's fears were soon realized as she was led into a small dark operating room where she would soon be confronted by the infamous Angel of Death, Dr. Joseph Mengele. Without anesthesia, Mengele began an operation to remove Germaine's reproductive organs. He had already removed one of Germaine's ovaries when airplanes from the Allied forces began a bombing raid. Mengele ran away to hide, but instructed an imprisoned Jewish doctor who was assisting with surgery to finish the job. It was as if an angel of life had come to Germaine. Instead of completing the surgery, the Jewish doctor decided to leave her remaining ovary intact. But he made her promise 2 things. 1, that she would hide her cycle so that no one would know what he had done. And 2, that she would name her first son after him. Germaine kept both promises. 3 more years would pass before Germaine was freed from her captors. She met and married Simon, another Holocaust survivor. Not knowing if she would ever be able to have children of her own, the Lord blessed she and Simon by increasing her family to include 4 sons who married and gave her 8 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. Simon and Germaine named their firstborn son Solomon. Solomon Saul Pitchon. The family will rejoice and increase even more with the arrival of 2 more great-grandchildren as Saul's daughter welcomes twin girls in November. Because of Germaine's horrible ordeal, Saul's very birth is a miracle in itself. But because of Saul's commitment and the commitment of so many other caring people, miracles are happening every day. Because we are called for such a time as this, today's Holocaust of abortion is being replaced by miracles of life. One day at a time, one life at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Saul Pitchon.